All right, it's time to review the exercise for this section. So in this lesson, I basically wanted you to create your own program. In this program, I want you to create a class called greeting. So that's the first kind of important step. In this class, I want you to print out a line that says hello, comma, and then your name, and use your actual name in place of your name. I want you to then compile the program using Java-C and run it using Java from the command line. So, minus a couple differences, this is pretty much like the Hello World application that we both wrote together. So, if you had some issues, go back and watch that again before I show you the solution. As some bonuses, I wanted you to split the logic out of printing your name out into a method. And one more bonus, pass your name into that method as an argument. So let's go ahead and jump on into the solution. Okay, so I'm going to create a new directory here. I'm going to say greeting, and we'll cd into that. So we're just going to create a new file called greeting.java. Again, whenever you're creating a new class, it's always the right way to do it is to create a uppercase letter as the first letter of the name of the class. So we're going to use a capital G here, and we're going to say greeting.java. And now we need to go ahead and open this. So I'm going to open this in code for me. And let's go ahead and create this class. So I'm going to say class greeting. And we're going to create our method here. Let's see if we can get this to hide. Public static void main string args. All right, so now the first part of the solution was to just output our name, right? So we're just going to use a similar approach that we did with Hello World. We'll say hello Dan. And so if we wanted to, we could save this, come back. We could compile this, and we could run this. And there's the output that we're expecting. So now, the other kind of bonuses that we said is let's go ahead and split this logic out into a method. So I'm going to create a new method, and because it's going to be called from a static method, it also needs to be static. Again, if you're pretty new, don't worry about that. I understand how that can be a little confusing. It's actually not going to return anything. And we're just going to have this method be called greet. And it's going to take an argument, which is of type string, and we'll call that argument name. So all I'm going to do is actually copy this or cut this out, and we're going to say hello, and then we're also going to use the name as the argument. So to make this happen, all I need to do is call the method greet, and I'm going to pass in Dan. So if we save that, I'm going to go ahead and do this again, Java-C, greeting, oops. What's going on? Java-C greeting.java. Wow, I spelled that completely wrong. I didn't even notice that. All right, so we'll just fix that later. All right, so we have a little error. So this is one of the problems with using non-IDE is you don't get that instant visual feedback. And the other problem is I've been writing a lot of Groovy lately, and we don't use semicolons in Groovy. So no big deal. Same thing here. Let's just compile that. And now let's go ahead and run that. And there's the same thing. So I think that's about it. I hope you had the same kind of output here. If you have any questions about how anything in this particular class works, please feel free to ask me. And with that, let's go ahead and move on to the next section.